Good afternoon. Oh, actually, it's good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Christ Project podcast. My name is Kentu, and I will be your host today. And today we got a very exciting and very important and flavorful show for you to talk about the law of attraction. We're going to go back to the basics and talk about how do we actually manifest our dreams into reality. That's what we're going to talk about. That is the Christ Project. What people often don't understand, and I talk about this all the time, is that Jesus came to God sent Jesus. God became manifest as man. Love became manifest as man, called him Jesus to teach us how to manifest, to teach us how to connect to this higher level of consciousness we all have within ourselves, the light, we could call it the Christ. I am the Christ, you are the Christ, we are the Christ, the Word. He came incarnate, certainly not to create some kind of religious dogmatic institution called a church. The last thing he wanted was to be put on a pedestal of some kind of God. He was God became human. He was trying to show us how human, that we have the God within us. And we got it kind of mixed up, but I'm here to help you understand that what the Christ Project is. It was actually a term that was phrased by Teilhard de Chardin about how to understand the evolution of the cosmos, something that happened 14 billion years ago, and how Jesus of Nazareth brought this into an understanding and an awareness for human beings, so we could co-participate in the co-creation of our world, of our planet, through love. I mean, Jesus really is very, very simple, and human beings have overcomplicated it, largely to get their own power. They took something that was real and true, as it happens all the time, and tried to own it, tried to take possession of it. It's something that they owned. Like the Roman Catholic Church, that they own Jesus, they own the Christ. They don't. So they came up with this whole bunch of creeds called the Nicene Creed. It says you have to believe this if you want to talk to God. Well, that's craziness. Jesus came to teach us how to manifest, how to tap into those superpowers of unconditional love, creative energy we all have within us. Those sayings like we're created in the image of God are true. We are, love is the seed, the Christ is the seed of the human life. The life force in all of us is the Christ. It's Christ consciousness. What our job to do here as humans is to transcend the limitations of the ego thinking mind, the shadow, through life series of learning and experiences. It's not like the shadow is a bad thing. These are opportunities to see falsehoods, to see challenges, and work through false beliefs to get to the truth. And we do it over and over and over and over again. And if we work at this for a little while, we'll actually begin to learn how to transmute that energy of fear into creative love. That is the most advanced way of manifesting. And I want to share with you a story that's going to sound a little unbelievable, but that's what manifesting is. It is creating something out of nothing with our mind. We align our hearts, our mind, our bodies into alignment with the vibration of the energy of the cosmos, and we can create out of thin air. Basically, we do. How do you think the pyramids, they were created out of the mind? The power of the human mind is infinite. There is nothing we can't create if we have the right intention to do so. So let me tell you a story. Go back a year ago, summer, and I was really worried because I needed a new roof on my house. And I had my insurance threatened. Actually, I had my insurance threatened to cancel if I didn't get a new roof, and I didn't have the money to buy a new roof. And I got so much going on in Africa, my credit's terrible, so they wouldn't loan me any money. And we tried and we tried and tried, and we could not. And we went through. We kept kicking we get new insurers to go out and give us for a few months, and then they come inspect us and they want a new roof. So I was at the wire, and it was August of last year, and my birthday is in September 9th. And I thought, I don't know what we're going to do. If we don't get a new roof, we're going to lose our house because they're going to foreclose. We can't, you have to have insurance. So I was in a real jam, and I was full of fear. And then I thought, what do I want for my birthday on September 9th this year? My 69th birthday, that was last year. What do I want for my birthday? What do I really want? I want a new roof. So on August of last year, before September, I said, universe, God, the universe, we're buddies. And we've been together, and I am lost. I have created a big problem here, and I don't know how to fix it. We've got to get a new roof on our house. And there's nothing I like better for my birthday this year than to get a new roof. Could you get me a new roof for my house this year, for my birthday? I'm talking to the universe. I call her Joy the Wise Woman. And we've got a pretty good relationship. We've been really good to me, and I don't want to lose our house. I need your help. Well, the next day, September 1st, across my computer screen, like so many times before, I see a great big sign. It says, New Jersey, the state of New Jersey will buy you a roof, a solar roof. If you'll put a solar roof on your house, New Jersey will pay for it. And I always just thought that was just way too good to be true. Right there in front of me. Opportunity. If you want a new roof, click here. The state of New Jersey will actually pay for it. Well, I thought it was I did it. I went on there and I clicked that, and it looked, it was the state of New Jersey website, and there was a button that you click to sign up for an appointment with a guy to tell you how it worked and how you could participate. So I registered for the next day, and I had no idea what the guy was going to do, who was going to sell me, what was going to happen. But I had the appointment, and the guy could not have been nicer. He was clearly not someone who was trying to sell me something. He was trying to teach me something about something that would be very helpful to me. You can feel the difference between a salesperson who's just trying to sell you something and somebody who actually cares about you and wants you to learn something that's going to help you. And that's the attitude he had. He was a great guy, a very nice guy. And I said to him toward the end, I said, listen, I'm trying to understand something here. You're telling me that you're going to come in and put a roof on our house, a brand new roof, take off the old roof, put on a brand new roof, and then you're going to put a solar roof on top of that, and you're not going to charge me anything to do that? You're not even going to ask for a credit card. And then on the other side, they're going to pay me for the power once we have a solar panel. And I'm like thinking, wow, I don't quite understand how this could be true. Help me understand how this works. And I'm all for who I wouldn't anybody do it. And he said, well, some people don't have enough credit. You got to have a 620 credit score. And you got to have enough sun, and you got to know about it. That's all there is. I said, well, let me see if I qualify. So I qualified. So I said, and this one, he still hadn't asked me for anything. He asked me for a credit card, nothing. But he set up an appointment. I've been approved for them to come out and put on a new roof in my house. And I'm like, what? This is just crazy. Finally, I said, tell me how this works. And I'm a finance guy. Once he began to explain to me how it was a financial decision, this was a play. I can't think of the word. Arbitrage between the value of the future stream of revenue that's going to come from the solar panels on my roof are going to produce a future stream of revenue that I can sell into the market. That they can sell into the market. So it's just a financial situation. It's a way of buying and selling money. It's a great idea. I mean, it's a finessing idea. And once I understood that it was a revenue stream that they were selling, they were using my roof, fixing up to build a power plant on my roof that was going to be in good shape because they're going to be producing power, which they're going to sell into the future. and give me some credit for some of it. But that's how they do it. I'm giving them a place to make money on my roof, and that's what they're doing. So once I understood that it was something that everybody was going to win, that was a win for me, a win for them, a win for the universe. We now have a solar panel roof. I still haven't paid for it. I never paid for it. I mean, we have to sign a contract. We have to do some. We have to pay some money for some things, but we didn't start paying anything until 8 months later. But here's the other thing: we get credit back every month. So net, we don't pay for it, and our power bill is nothing. So that's how I manifested a new roof on my house, and it was all right there. But I was in so much fear I couldn't see what was right in front of me, because it's always right there. But we're in so much fear we cannot see it. But that's how I got. Oh, to make it even more exciting, let's get down to the real fun part of that story. So it was all set up, and they were coming, and they'd done the inspection, and everything was going to happen, and they had delivered the shingles and all the stuff they needed to put the new roof on and everything, and in my driveway. And I get a call. They want some documentation to show my husband, who was actually the one that was on the contract because he had the better credit, that he was the owner of the house. Well, he doesn't own the house. Back when we bought the house in 2005, we weren't married, and I just bought the house in my name, and I never thought about actually putting it in his name. But I didn't have a document showing him that he was the co-owner of the house because I didn't have such a thing. So I said, well, it could be a problem for us. I said, well, what can we do? We get a quitclaim deed. So I went and got a quitclaim deed and had it notarized, and went down to the recording office, and that was going to take a while. And what I learned was that a quitclaim deed is good and valid whether it's recorded or not. Recording is to protect it, but if you've got a notarized quitclaim deed, it's happened, it's done, it's a legal binding document. Well, the company didn't believe that, and they told me that. He told me on the phone he would see what he could do, but he didn't think they could put the roof up. So I said, wait a minute here. I'm expecting these guys here at 7:00 in the morning to put on a roof. That is what I stopped what I was doing, and I spent 2 hours, because the fear that went over me that I'd gotten this far and they weren't going to come in was like, I could just feel the fear in my body. I said, I'm going to turn that fear. I'm not afraid of that fear. I'm going to feel it. I am going to feel that fear till it consumes my. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid. I'm going to take that fear that I'm feeling right now. I'm going to take the fear that I'm feeling right now and transmute that into those guys getting what I want. And I want those guys to ring my doorbell at 7:00 in the morning and put on a new roof of my house. And I just sat into that feeling and just imagined it and saw it. And I could feel the vibration in me changing. I was shifting internally from fear to excitement and gratitude. And I could feel the door ringing. I could feel the excitement of having them on my roof the next day, hammering away and changing the roof. So I went to bed feeling like they're going to be here at 7:00 in the morning. And do you know what? At 7:00, the doorbell rings, and it's a whole bunch of great young men out there ready to take my roof down and put a new roof on. And they got up there and they got too busy, and they ripped the entire over half the roof off in about 45 minutes. I was roofless. And then I get a call from the company telling me they weren't supposed to do that. They had to stop. I said, well, they're not going to stop. They got my roof missing. They got to keep going forward. We can't just let them go home with my roof, with no roof on my house. So they continued on hammering away. And at the end of the day, into 2 days, I had a brand new roof on my house. Now the solar panels come later. I still haven't paid for it, but I will tell you, I wanted a new roof for my birthday, and I got it. But it takes work. Manifesting takes work. It's not something you think, well, I'm going to do it and I'm just going to go walk away. It takes work. It takes hard work. So let's talk about what I'm talking about. It takes work. It's not something you just have to kind of think about. There are 3 things It's all based on the law of attraction. The law of attraction says the following thing. It's a formula, very simple formula. What I think is what I create. What I'm feeling is what I attract. And what I imagine is what I become. So if I begin to feel fear and I imagine, losing my house and being without a roof and being a victim, that's what I could get. And I've gotten that before. Or I could say, no, wait a minute. I have the power within me to change this. I want a roof on my house. I'm going to get a roof on my house. So I just begin to say, I want a roof on my house. That's what I begin to think. I begin to create. I want a roof on my house for my birthday. That's the thought. And then I began to feel, what's it going to feel like to have a roof on my house this year? It's going to feel really good. I'm going to sleep at night knowing that my house is protected with a brand new roof. I needed a roof. That's the thing. So I'm going to feel good. Then I begin to imagine myself with this wonderful new roof. And that's the way I'm living today. I took that dream and I shifted it. And if you want a Bentley for your next birthday, then ask the universe for it. It usually is not. It's very difficult to manifest something for purely selfish reasons. I'll just be honest with you. You can't. If there's an ounce of it, of what's in it just for me, I want this for me. Whatever sort of earthly reason, it doesn't really work that way. I guess it could. I mean, but how we manifest is from love. It is from transmuting fear into love. My fear of losing my home and not having this new house that I love was so huge that I had to feel the fear and change it into love. Now, if you can do that around a Bentley, go for it. But I don't know how well it will work. How do I get out of me thinking? In the past, I did so much for others and get further behind, lost debt. Oh, quit thinking about how much you do for others and start doing things for yourself. I mean, start doing things for yourself. The secret is self-love. And me thinking, just thinking about me all the time is narcissism. It's not self-love. It's self-doubt. So that's what we're going to talk about today are the three critical things you've got to get out of your head. And that's through meditation. So I'm going to tell you right now exactly what you have to do to get out of the me thinking. The first thing you have to do is you have to learn to practice a form of meditation every single day. Start your day with a meditation. Start your day connecting to your zone of genius. You can feel your way into a deeper level of consciousness. I do it every single morning in different ways. There's a wonderful book out there called The Morning Miracle. If you haven't read The Morning Miracle, highly, highly read it, recommend it, and make it a way of your life. The Morning Miracle is how to do exactly what you asked me how to do. It's how to start your day to plug into that higher level of consciousness so you can be guided by that all day long. Because once you plug in, you can feel yourself getting unplugged. And you just kind of listen, and your intuition becomes, you develop a very good understanding of your intuition, and you can just feel your way into the next moment. It's really a wonderful way of living. But it's what you do and how you start your every day. And the only way I've ever heard what Jesus taught, what Buddha taught, what everyone ever teaches is the only way inside is to quiet the mind and breathe through the breath, quiet the mind, open the heart, be still and listen. I'm going to say it again. Sit quietly, find a safe place to sit quietly. And maybe you just start by breathing. What I often do in the morning for the first 10 minutes is just to sit and breathe and enjoy my coffee. Just listen to the birds, feel what it feels like to be alive, let my body wake up. I'm usually kind of groggy when I wake up in the morning. I'm kind of grumpy. So I just don't fight any. I just sit for 10 minutes. Don't look at the news. Don't get involved in what's going on there. Try to get inside. Try to quiet the mind, open the heart, and be still and listen to yourself. Listen to your own heartbeat. And then about 20 minutes. The book is called The Miracle Morning by Hal Unrod. The Miracle Morning. It's a great, great book. The Miracle Morning. Highly recommend the book. Recommend it to all my clients. It just tells you better than I can how to get out the money. It's 20-year-old. It's a multi-million-dollar book. It's all over the world. Highly recommend it. That's what I would do. So you start with a morning meditation. It's not a meditation so that I can feel better. I actually I meditate throughout the day. I will meditate in the morning. I'll work for a while, and then every day at noon or sometime middle of the day, I will stop to meditate and nap for 2 hours at least. Because I need that reconnection back into, I've used a lot of energy in the morning to create, which is good because it's fun. I love creating, but it takes energy. It takes focus. So I do it through meditation, and I live, and you got to teach yourself how to live in a constant state of meditation, a constant state of quieting the mind, opening the heart, letting go, constantly letting go, letting go, letting go. I mean, life is a series of letting go of attachments to everything. And that's the other thing. You've got to learn to let go of your attachments to the past. That's the second thing you got to remember. You got to let go of your attachments to the past because they don't exist. They're just stories in your head. And the ego shadow loves to create the illusion, that they're real. That those things in the past cause what to happen? If you had a bad experience in the past, you're blaming it on something and you're just trying to relive it. So the next thing, that's when you quiet your mind, is you got to let go of all that worry and all that stuff in the material. You got to let it go and just don't believe any of it. Just get the quiet, empty mind. So you got to meditate, and you got to learn to let go of your attachments to the past. Let's see something here. I was just going to look for something. I don't see it. I'm right now having a real interesting little brain snafu. I'm trying to think of something and I can't think of it. Let me pull up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to share something. I'm going to read it directly from the book. My son Darius is an East African refugee, and he wrote a book called Manifesting for East Africans. Just a second. I want to get that book out, and I want to share it with you for a second. Hold on a minute today, because it's a great book. And that you asked me how to do it, and I'm going to give everybody a copy of it. So just a second here. Go to my drive here. TRIB. East African Manifestation Manual. Here we go. Let me see if I can share a link in the thing. I don't know. I'm going to try to share a link. There's the link to a book. You asked me how. I'm telling you exactly how to do this out of me thinking. It's the East African Manifesting Manual. Okay? And it was written by an East African. And it's grasping the laws of attraction. And the three critical on page, I don't have a page number, but the three critical stages, and we went through the first two, is one, start your day with a meditation. Start your day with a meditation. And there are all kinds of ways to do it. It's not one single way. And today, you can go to YouTube and you can find all kinds, and we give you some recommendations in the book of different people who lead meditations. But if you're new to meditation, I would find someone like Joe Dispenza or Eckhart Tolle, or some of these online. Ram Dass is one of my favorites. Ram Dass and Alan Watts. They got these guys lead meditations that are just so transformative. You don't have to do it yourself, and I use them all the time. So you want to start your day with meditation, and you want to meditate throughout the day, and let go of your emotional attachments to the past. That's just you can't hold on to all that stuff. And then the last thing I'll talk about, the third step, is to cultivate what I call an abundance mindset, a millionaire's mindset. You've got to let go of the feeling of poverty and understand that we live in abundance. We live in a state of abundance. And so when we can embrace a mindset of abundance and let go of the scarcity mind thinking, all of a sudden everything changes, and we can begin to see the world through the lens of what I call the lens of Christ, which is the lens of abundance. One of the best stories is the Bible is the story of Jesus with the loaves and the fishes, where he manifested enough food to feed thousands. Well, let me just tell you something. That's a story, but if you've got thousands of people, let's say there were 5,000 people in the story, right? You got 5,000 people who came to see Jesus. They came, mamas came with their babies, and they brought food. So while they may not have had enough for whoever they were trying to find, everybody came with food. It was right there in front of them. And someone said, "Well, just it's time to stop and eat." They all stopped and ate. Okay, there's a miracle in the story because they realized they realized they have everything they needed. You see, and that's the abundance mind. When you wake up and you realize you already have everything you could ever want. There's no reason to be greedy. There's no reason to be fearful. There's no reason to be lonely. You can possibly be alone in this higher frame of consciousness. So that's what it's all about. So there's the book, and if you like, I would highly recommend grabbing yourself a copy, downloading, and get that book about the miracle morning. That will give you the steps. There's 6 things you do every day to get into that zone of genius that will change the way you work, the way you show up every day. You get to do the things you want to do instead of the things you think you should do. How many of you spend your day doing things you should do? Quit doing things you should do. There's nothing you should do. Do what you want to do. It feels right to you. That's what you want. That's how you manifest doing what feels good, creating what feels good. Okay. So before I go, I want to let you know about a nonprofit that I'm very much in. I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit in Africa called the Diamond Mine Academy. We're a 501c3 organization, and the mission of the organization is to safely resettle East African refugees who are under a lot of risk and persecution by the Ugandan government's passing of the Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023. And our work is to actively help create, one, safety for them while they're in Africa, and then 2, in process of resettling to the United States. And so we got 2 things. We're raising money so we can empower them with what we call microfunding initiatives to empower them to become entrepreneurs. It's a great program. It's called the Microfunding Initiative, and we would love to have your support and love to have your help. So if you would, go over to our website at www.diamondmineacademy.org and see all about what we do. It's not just about raising money, but we have a coaching program. I'm actually offering a free Christ Project Mastermind for 90 days starting October 7th. Register for that. We'd love to have you come join us for that program. That's free. We do ask you again to give us a little donation to the Diamond Mine Academy, our nonprofit doing the work in Africa, to help us with that. But that's another way for you to learn how to get out of me thinking. Come do our mastermind. It's practice. It's a daily exercise, and that's a free thing. It's going to start October 7th. So my encouragement is to go over to our website, www.diamondmineacademy.org, diamondmineacademy.org. Go over to our website and 1, check us out, and 2, make a donation, contribute to our cause, to contribute to the Diamond Mine Academy and the work we're doing in Africa to save lives. And it's great work. You'll feel great. That's part of the Christ Project, being generous. We act generously. When we act from abundance, we are abundant. The more you give, the more you get. It's true. It's absolutely true. And that's how we manifest. So I hope this was helpful today. If you like what you heard, please put it in the comment section. Thank you, DeWhitney Baby. That's a great name. And thank you, Adrian Alexander Cook, um, for showing up and asking me questions. I love it. I love questions. What I really want is if you've got a story, if you got a story to share about your experience living in this higher level of consciousness, living in Christ consciousness, we call it. Send me an email with your story. I love to read it. And I may even read it to you on the, or maybe even you come on the show sometime. Who knows? All right. Well, thank you so much for listening today. I hope this was helpful to you, and have a great, great weekend.